Hello and welcome to this lesson. Now in this lesson, we'll learn how to clean, reshape, and explore data using dplyr package, the dplyr package, which is part of the tidyverse and one of the most powerful tools in R. Now we'll look at key functions such as filter to select rows, select to pick columns, mutate to add new variables, and also arrange to sort rows. Now let's get into it. All right. Okay, now we want to load tidyverse. And as we know, tidyverse again is a group of our packages that are designed for data science. It includes dplyr for data manipulation, ggblot2 for plots, and also reader for reading files. So command enter. However, if you only want to load dplyr, you can do that as well. So you can do the same thing with just loading dplyr, command enter. Now let's create a simple data frame. So we want to create a tibble of student data. Again, we're using Tibble, which is a modern version of a data frame to store, let's say, student names or grades and a logical past column. But this is where we will be working on our data set, and we'll want to check the environment pane to confirm that it was created. Command enter. We see in the console the output and the activity. And now we see in the environment, we see the students. We have 4 observations and 3 variables, just as we saw that before in the previous video with 3 observations and 2 variables. Now again, how do we look at the data sheet? Well, you can click on it again. So here you see the students. So you just click on this displayed in the environment pane. Great. So we've got it there. So this may tell us if they passed the test. So Ella got an 88. She passed. Sam did not pass. Ravi passed. Tina did not pass. So it gives us a great data sheet here. Now let's go back to our script page. And what if we want to keep only certain rows? So we can use this code here to filter students by grade that are above 80. So remember on our data sheet, above 80. So how many are there? There's 2, 88 and 95, which is Ella and Ravi. Now, command enter. Now you can see down here in the console, the output, it shows Ella and Ravi. They're above 80. This is really nice because the filter lets you keep rows where a condition is true. And in this case, we're selecting only students who scored higher than 80. Now think of this like a zoom tool for your data. It's useful for narrowing down large data sets. But what if we want to pick columns you want to work with? So what if we only want to select certain columns in a data set? So show only names and grades. This will show only names and grades. So command enter. As we see, the names and grades are down here in the console, and in our data set, it omitted the past, if they passed the test or not. It just shows the name and the grade because that's what we entered. So this is useful if you don't need the whole table. You just need pieces that you care about. Okay, well, what about adding new columns based on existing ones? So can you actually add new columns based on existing ones? Yes, you can. So we can tell Rstudio to create a new column with 5 bonus points. So let's say that you're grading and you realize you're going to add 5 bonus points to everyone's score. So this is the code you would use. You have the students, grade with bonus equals grade plus 5. So command enter. Now we see it down here, the output in the console. This is their actual grade and then with 5 added. So you can see you can add 5 to their score. So let's look at this code here for a sec so we understand what's going on. So mutate, that is a function from the dplyr package, and it basically tells R to add a new column or modify an existing one. So that's the script there. Then the students is the name of the data frame. So this is the data set we're working with. It's students. And then grade with bonus. Now this is the name of the new column being created. So you add a new column being created and then equals an existing column in the data frame. And that's grade. So we use the values from the column named grade. And then, of course, plus 5 is just the simple math operation. So you add 5 to each student's grade. Okay, now what if we want to sort rows by a variable? Well, here's the task, and this is how we sort rows by a specific variable. So this arrange here lets you order the data. So Command Enter. Here we see the output in the console. This is the data order. So we've ordered it from least highest to most highest. Start with Tina to Ravi at 95. Now we've added disk here, and that stands for descending, so highest first. Because we have ascending here, but now we want to do descending, so highest first. So Command Enter, and here you can see descending first, or highest first, I mean. So sorting is super useful when you want to highlight top performers or rank results. Now let's get into the pipe operator. Now we use this pipe operator to really chain steps together, as it says, but the pipe sends output from one function directly into the next. So it's like saying, take students and then filter it and then select columns from it. So let's look at this real quick. So what do you suppose would happen? So Command Enter. So we took students again, then we filtered them, anybody with a grade greater than 70, and then select the columns from it. And here we see the output. So greater than 70, we have those three, LSM and Ravi. Awesome. Now in this lesson, you learned how to use dplyr to filter rows with filter, to choose columns with the select function, to add new columns with mutate, and to also sort rows with arrange. We've also learned how to combine steps with the pipe operator. Now this is the core of data wrangling with R, and it's something you can do in nearly every project. This really builds a foundation for much more complex tasks. All right, we'll see you in the next video.